Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Alexis Hope. If you're true, welcome back. I know. So as you can see from the topic of today's video, I am going to tell you what it's like not being on a GLP-1. Now my drug of choice is Zepbound. So it's been 2 months since I've been on Zepbound. Now, mind you, a lot of people say, you're going to gain all the weight back, or you're going to have to be on this for the rest of your life. You can't stop. Don't worry, I got the tea. Stay tuned. So now the reason why I stopped was because I hit my goal weight. I lost 60 pounds. I started at 209, which is what my scale said. My doctor was like, you were bigger than that. But my scale, scales are different. So my scale did say 209. So to me, I lost 60 pounds. My goal weight was 150. I did get down to 148. So proud. But that was the reason why I stopped. Now, my highest dose was the 7.5 and I was taking the vials. So I didn't have the pen, I had the vials. Now, 7.5, that's where I stopped. I was on that for a few months. That was a good enough dose for me. I was losing weight on it. I didn't feel the need to go any higher. Now, when you are trying to come off of a drug, like any drug like this, especially something that curbs your appetite, it's best to plan. So I knew that when I hit my goal weight, I kind of wanted to get off of it. So I did plan, and luckily this completely taught me how I think. It taught me so much about my body. It taught me so much about food noise. It taught me just so much as far as how I process things and what really kind of makes me tick. You know what I mean? So I did learn a lot while taking Zepbound, and I luckily was able to carry that with me when I stopped taking it. So yes, I had my highs and I very much had my lows. So because I know what makes my body tick, I am very much prepared to do what my body needs and to take and put in my body what it needs. Now, my biggest issue that I had was sodium and electrolytes. Just any type of hydration. That was really my biggest issue. Now, if you're also on like medication like iron or high blood pressure or things like that, or diuretics send you to the bathroom. So just everybody's needs, they're just very much different. But the fact that I just had an issue, and I'm not very good when it comes to hydration, never have been. I don't really get thirsty, and I think that's because I don't move as much as I should. Now, since I have stopped taking Zepbound, the very first thing, mind you, it's been 2 months. It did, take a couple of weeks for this, but the very first thing that I noticed was I could poop, and God, that was heaven. Like 2 or 3 days, just my body was just releasing all of that, and it was just so happy. And not to mention, I was eating a little bit more than I normally would have. So, there was something there to come out. So that was just the first thing I noticed, was my digestive system was thanking me and just being so happy and cooperative. Now, the hardest part for me, I feel, is the food noise. That is going to always just be there on my shoulder. But before, the food noise was just, if I saw it or I knew it existed, I wanted it. This time my food noise is pretty specific. I crave sweets, candy, I crave soda, I crave ice cream. I'm thinking these are things that my body was kind of deprived of when I was on Zepbound, because I wasn't eating that stuff. I had no desire to eat it. So my body is like, welcome back. We're going to get some ice cream. So that food noise is pretty specific. But like I said, because I prepared for this, I know how my body works and I know what my body needs. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get some ice cream, but I don't need the whole container. In the past, I would eat a whole pint. I don't need a whole pint now. Of course, I'm going to, just satisfy those cravings, but I don't have to overdo it. What has really surprised me is that my portion sizes are still pretty good. I'm not eating like a big bowl of something. I'm still eating small. And I think that has carried over from the Zepbound. I've been off of it long enough to where I don't think it's still in my system. If it is, it's like trace amount. But my appetite is there. I just don't eat as much as I used to, which thankfully, you know, like I can sit with a full plate in front of me. I'm not going to be able to eat all of that. Maybe 2 days worth, you know. So I'm thankful for that. That is still there, just the way I process food and the way I see it. And I think that's because I was on the Zepbound for so long. So seeing certain things and seeing the food and knowing that, you know, for one, I don't need to eat everything I see. Just knowing that, you know, a little small portion is truly what my body needs, and that I don't have to go overboard, although, you know, it's just enough to satisfy the craving and to satisfy the hunger. So like I said, I did plan this out. I did know that, and it wasn't like a spur of the moment, like, oh, I'm going to stop now that I've hit my goal weight. It was a progression. It was more of, I'm going to hit my goal weight, and then I'm probably going to, you know, get like 1 month supply, and then I'm not going to take it anymore. And that's because I don't need for more weight to keep coming off. I really want to figure out how to maintain what I have. And that's what this is just like maintenance. I need to maintain the weight that I have. I like the weight that I'm at. I don't think I've ever been this small as an adult. And I probably haven't been this size, maybe middle school. I have always been big. So I like the size that I am, and I want to maintain this. I don't want weight to just continue to fall off. There's, to me, no reason for that. One thing that I am grateful for is that I really did learn my body. I learned that I cannot function without sodium. I have to have electrolytes. And even just regular water I don't crave, but I have to get electrolytes and sodium and potassium in my body. There is just no way around it. I have to have that. And even if it's not like in water, it has to be in something, some form, because I will end up in the hospital. And that is what my body needs in order to function. And although I was eating, you know, small portions of like food that would, you know, quote unquote give energy, that's not what my body needed. And I know a lot of people preach protein. That's fine and, you know, dandy. I didn't really put that much protein in my body, and I didn't lose like much muscle mass or anything. But I figured out what my body specifically needed, and those are things that my body needs, or else I've been in the hospital, and now I know my body's cues for when, okay, we need to get information, because yeah, we're lacking. And because I lost a lot of weight, I pretty much lost all of my body, basically, just like body fat, including my butt. I mean, we're going to get back in the gym. We're going to build her back up. But I wasn't really expecting to lose my butt, and I also lost, like, I'm chest heavy, always have been like top heavy up here, and I lost that. I don't even know what size bra I wear at this point. So I'm just beyond thankful that I lost weight. But it's like, wow, it's a big adjustment. It's an adjustment having to, you know, think about what size ring I have. I always wear this Cartier ring, and it wants to slide off my finger all the time. So that is an adjustment that I like, but I'm still trying to, you know, figure out and incorporate, and I'm still trying to get used to having to buy a size medium, or you know, things like that. And I'm very much used to people looking at me differently. I'm trying to get used to people looking at me differently now. Now, I also figured out that moving my body is key. I have to move my body. I have a pretty sedentary job, unless I need to actually get up and actually do things in different offices. Other than that, I'm sitting. I have to get up and I have to move my body. That is a non-negotiable. So moving my body, electrolytes, sodium, potassium, non-negotiable. I have to do it in order for my body to function, in order for my body to work the way that it should. And like I said, also different like types of medication can change some things, but I have to move my body, and that is a goal of mine, to get more steps in. I remember before I started Zepbound, because like I said, my job, I sit down. And actually I was in a different position for, let me see, around that time, yeah, I had started out in a different position that I'm in now. This position now that I'm in, I actually move a lot more. Before, I was just really sitting at my desk. I would wear my watch, my Galaxy watch. I would get maybe 600 steps in, if that. I've seen the time I would get 300. I'm not moving. So now my goal is really 6,000, and I do plan to increase from there. But as of right now, just 6,000 a day. That way I know that I moved. That way I know that what I did put in my body, I am burning some of it off. So I know you're all wondering whether or not I gained weight. After stopping Zepbound, I really was losing weight afterwards. So that just kept going. And like I said before, although those cravings are there, like I want candy and all this stuff, I'm still eating smaller portions. Not like when I was, before Zepbound, where I was just eating it all. I'm eating smaller portions still. And I'm not eating as much. Like today, I did not eat until maybe lunchtime. I'm going to always have my iced coffee in the morning. That's a non-negotiable. But I didn't really, and I've learned to also have protein coffee to kind of help with that. So protein iced coffee, delish. But I didn't get around to eating until maybe lunchtime, which before I would have to sit and, just constantly eat, just everything. So I am eating smaller portions and not as much. And of course, I'm still losing weight even afterwards. I did weigh myself maybe 2 days ago, and I had gained like 3 pounds, but it's also that time of the month, so that don't count. So I really think that my next steps will be to, of course, maintain my current weight. I want to start getting myself built up as far as my booty. I need for her to come back. I need to also build up some muscle mass. I need to start getting in the gym and like kind of building up with weights and things like that. And I even have some here that I probably need to start doing, and lifting weights and things like that. Because now I want to maintain what I have, but I also kind of want to build it up. And in my head, distant future, I kind of sort of want to run a marathon, just to say I did, okay? Just so I can look back 10 years ago at 21-year-old Alexis, who was in her, in her prime technically, but 200 some pounds, and I could say, girl, we ran a marathon. Well, we don't run unless somebody's chasing us, and we run a marathon for fun, just because. So I do want to do that distant future. So I want to, of course, keep up with my nutrition. I want to, of course, keep up with my body and just making sure that I'm building my muscles and things like that. I also feel that because Zepbound is approved for sleep apnea, and I do have sleep apnea, I may get back on the 2.5 milligram. Just something super low, just to help with my sleep apnea, because I do not want a CPAP machine. But just something super low, and it probably will help with the food noise as well, and some of those cravings. But I'm getting to the point now where I'm learning how to fight those demons, and this medication has definitely helped me, because it helped me realize that, okay, wow, there is something there that tells me to eat and is quiet in my head when I'm on the medication. And this is something that I've tried to explain to, like, per se, my mom. My mom doesn't have food noise. My mom and I are almost the same size, by the way. My mom doesn't have food noise. She has no idea what I'm talking about when I say food noise. But I have to explain to her that I constantly, without, the medication before this, I would constantly think about food all day, every day. I would wake up thinking about food. I would dream about food. Food. And it was just nonstop, and it would never go away. Now I'm learning how to kind of combat that. And I'm also, because I've had to do my research so much on this medication, I now know that there are other go-to things that I can eat if I want something sweet. I don't always have to, you know, go for a candy bar. Now, will I every once in a while? Of course. I don't want to deprive myself of life, but you know, there's ways around things, and I can still be healthy. And mind you, being able to get up and just move my body is going to be just what I need to stay in pretty much in my plan in my head, as far as, you know, getting marathon ready. Now, if you are thinking about stopping your GLP-1 or going back down on a dose or two, I definitely recommend just planning it out, realizing how your body feels. Just, you know, always pay attention to how your body feels. Always. And also just understand how your body works. I know how my body works because she told me, basically, you have to have this, and this. There's just no way around it. And the fact that this medication kind of showed me how I was before, how it could be, it makes me realize what I can do now. So I'm going to always, of course, have that little demon there that tells me to eat, but I can now make healthier choices. I understand the importance of my nutrition, my vitamins, just all of that. All of that is needed for your body to function and for your body to work together. So if you're thinking about stopping your GLP-1, definitely plan it out. Understand how your body works. Just pay attention to those cues, okay? Always pay attention to those cues. Now, if you've stopped your GLP-1, let me know in the comments how that worked for you. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know what you're doing with the food noise. How are you fighting this? Like, I wish somebody would figure out just a way to turn that off so that we don't have to do this. But if you've stopped, what's your experience? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, you guys, like, comment, subscribe, because we're family here and there's so much more to come. I'll see you guys in the next video.